Welcome to today's documentary on one of the most controversial figures in modern music, Travis Scott. Known for his larger-than-life stage presence, groundbreaking musical achievements, and his deeply immersive approach to live performances, Scott has also been the center of heated debates, accusations, and tragic events. Today, we dive into the demonic reality of Travis Scott, examining both his meteoric rise to fame and the dark side that has come to define parts of his career. From his relentless ambition to the horrifying incidents that have rocked his world, this is the story of Travis Scott as you've never heard it before. Travis Scott's journey into the spotlight wasn't one of instant fame. Scott, like many artists, worked tirelessly behind the scenes, honing his craft while navigating the challenges of growing up in a city that's home to some of the biggest names in hip-hop. But it wasn't until his collaboration with Kanye West on Yeezus that Travis caught the attention of the music world. From his early mixtapes to his debut album Rodeo, which contained hits like Antidote, Scott's ability to merge hip-hop with atmospheric and experimental sounds earned him a reputation as an innovator. His live performances were unlike anything fans had seen before, as Scott's energy and crowd interactions took the art of the concert to new heights. His shows became an experience, a journey into a world where the audience wasn't just passive listeners, but active participants in a musical ritual. But as his star rose, so did the pressure. Scott's need for bigger, bolder performances led to increasingly intense and visually overwhelming stage shows, pushing the boundaries of what was considered normal for a live concert. Little did the world know that his performances would come to symbolize something far darker than just a thrilling music experience. The Astroworld era Travis Scott's 2018 album Astroworld was a massive commercial success, cementing his place in the pantheon of modern music icons. The album's iconic cover art, depicting an inflatable golden archway reminiscent of a childhood theme park, symbolized the dreamlike, surreal world Scott had built for himself. But as fans flocked to his live performances to witness this spectacle, things began to take a darker turn. The Astroworld concert experience became known for its chaotic energy, an atmosphere Scott himself fueled with his high-octane stage antics. The stage design itself was something out of a dystopian dream: giant inflatables, fire-breathing sculptures, and wild lighting. But beneath the glitz and glamour, many began to question the culture Scott was creating. By 2021, the Astroworld brand had become synonymous with chaos, and the ill-fated Astroworld Festival would forever alter Scott's legacy. The tragic Astroworld incident, November 5th, 2021. What was supposed to be an unforgettable night for fans turned into a nightmare. The Astroworld Festival in Houston, Texas, quickly became the scene of one of the most devastating crowd-controlled tragedies in recent history. During Travis Scott's performance, the crowd surged toward the stage, resulting in 8 fatalities and hundreds of injuries. In the aftermath, the public outrage was palpable. Fans accused Scott of inciting the crowd, pointing to his history of encouraging dangerous behavior at his concerts, such as crowd surfing, stage diving, and even inciting mosh pits. The media backlash was intense, with many questioning how Scott allowed the situation to escalate and whether he had any responsibility for the tragedy. Scott's response was heavily scrutinized, and his actions during the performance, continuing to sing while the chaos unfolded, were viewed as callous and negligent by some. He later expressed grief and regret, but the damage to his image. The incident raised questions not only about Travis Scott's role in the tragedy, but also about the larger culture of excess and chaos that had been perpetuated in the name of entertainment. The demonic symbolism as the years progressed, a recurring narrative began to emerge about Travis Scott's music and public persona. His concerts, album covers, and music videos often featured what some critics and fans saw as demonic imagery, from fire and flames to references to the occult. Scott's visuals seemed to reflect an obsession with darker themes. One of the most significant moments in this narrative came during his Astroworld performances, where the imagery associated with the festival appeared eerily satanic. The Astroworld arches, reminiscent of a twisted carnival entrance, became a symbol of the distorted world Scott was constructing. His live performances were filled with imagery that suggested a descent into madness, a place where fans were encouraged to lose themselves entirely in the music. This, combined with his association with the occult-like symbols and his use of dark, dramatic themes in his videos, only fueled the notion that there was something demonic lurking behind the glamorized performance. The power of influence. Travis Scott's influence on his generation of fans is undeniable. From his partnerships with McDonald's and Nike to his unique take on the role of a modern-day rock star, Scott has become a cultural icon. But with such power comes responsibility, and Scott's actions, particularly at his concerts, began to raise questions about the impact he was having on the youth who idolized him. Critics argue that the culture of recklessness surrounding Travis Scott's performances, combined with his public persona, could have a dangerous effect on young fans. The relentless pursuit of chaos in his concerts and the glamorization of excess in his lyrics and visuals point to a larger issue in the entertainment industry. Was Scott simply creating an escape for his fans, or was he feeding into a darker cultural trend where violence, chaos, and reckless behavior were celebrated? The fallout and redemption following the Astroworld tragedy. Travis Scott faced a lengthy period of public fallout. He was sued by multiple parties, including victims' families, and several brands distanced themselves from him. Many wondered if Scott could ever regain his previous level of influence, or if the Astroworld tragedy would forever define him. However, Scott's journey didn't end there. He stepped away from the public eye for a while, focusing on rebuilding his image and understanding the weight of his influence. His subsequent public apologies were heartfelt, and he engaged in charity work to aid the victims of the Astroworld disaster. Scott's fans, many of whom had supported him through thick and thin, stood by him as he began to make amends. Yet, as time passed, the scars from that fateful night remained. The question now was whether Scott's redemption could be achieved, or if he had forever sealed his place in the history of hip-hop as a cautionary tale of excess, chaos, and the dangers of Travis Scott's legacy, a cautionary tale. As we look back on the rise and fall of Travis Scott, we are reminded of the price of fame, the dangers of unchecked power, and the responsibility that comes with being an icon. His ability to entertain, create unforgettable musical moments, and build a brand is undeniable. Yet, the darker side of his career, the tragic events, the reckless behavior, and the demonic imagery, serves as a warning to other celebrities. The Astroworld disaster will forever cast a shadow over his career, but Scott's response to it, his efforts to learn from his mistakes, and the future of his brand remain to be seen. Will Travis Scott be able to reinvent himself as a force for good, or will he remain a cautionary tale of how fame can go horribly wrong? Thank you for joining us on this journey through the demonic reality of Travis Scott. From his rise to fame to the tragic events that unfolded, we've explored the complex and often troubling facets of his career. Let us know your thoughts on Travis Scott's journey in the comments below. Do you think he can redeem himself, or will his legacy always be marred by the Astroworld tragedy? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more documentaries on the fascinating and often dark